Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the BMT part 2 video. If you haven't seen the first part of this, I did do weeks 1 or weeks 0 through to 4 in a different video, and then in this video I'm going to be doing weeks 5 through to 8. So I'm just going to jump straight into it today. So I don't think that in the last video I mentioned about the paperwork that you will receive. So it's usually around week 4 and week 5, you will receive some paperwork. Your significant other should send you some paperwork. This paperwork will be your healthcare paperwork, your TRICARE information. It'll have like a form, there'll be like a pamphlet in there, and that'll give you everything you need to know about healthcare. Now you are entitled to healthcare, I believe, from the day that they start BMT, and then as soon as they enroll you in DEARS, that's when they'll send you the paperwork. I believe you don't need to do anything with the paperwork. Some people do call up TRICARE and make sure it's all set up and it's set up in the correct zip code. They make sure they have the correct coverage that they're after, so you can get TRICARE Prime or TRICARE Select. I won't go too much into all the healthcare stuff in this video, otherwise it would be way too long. I might do another video based around healthcare, but let me know down below if you guys want to see more about that. But yeah, so you'll get it. You can call up. You don't really need to. It's pretty much just effective straight away. There are numbers that you can call, like the TRICARE nurse line, I think, and stuff, where you can call to make sure that if you need to go to urgent care or the emergency room, that it's going to be covered. I haven't really done anything with the healthcare because we're still here in Australia. But when I did go visit my husband at the graduation, I had to get a shot done for my visa, and I want to say like it was completely covered, but maybe we had to pay like $20 or $30, and that was it. There was like a small gap that we had to pay, but the shot itself was well over $100. So I didn't enroll in anything, I didn't check anything, I didn't do anything, I've just left it, and it's fine. Now the other thing with healthcare is the vision and the dental are separate. So with your standard healthcare, you'll get one eye exam a year, but if you are somebody that needs more regular eye exams or has glasses, or your children do, then you may want to enroll in the extra vision. And then also dental isn't covered. I believe the airmen themselves are completely covered, but as for like the spouses or the family members, you might want to enroll in dental as well. And I believe for us, I think it was like an extra $30-ish a month to enroll in dental. So you should receive all that. I believe as well, once you get all that paperwork, you can go and get your military ID. However, you don't need to worry about doing this. You do need to go to a military base to get the ID. You don't need it for BMT graduation, so don't stress about trying to rush and get it. You can get it done at BMT graduation, or you can just wait until your first duty station and get it done. For the graduation, you'll just need the passes that will be sent around this same time, the graduation passes, and then you'll just need a form of ID. For us, we had to use our passport, but I'm pretty sure just any standard form of ID works if you're a United States citizen. I hope that covers the paperwork side of it. And like I said, if you want more information on healthcare, let me know and I can go into more details about Healthcare Prime, Healthcare Select, the dental coverage, the vision coverage, all of that stuff, if that's something you guys want to know more about. But let's move along into WAT 5. So WAT 5 is their dress blue photos. So they get to go and have their dress blues photos done this week, which I think is super exciting. I was really excited for him to get them done. I was so excited to see. There's always a lot of discussions going on about will a trainee smile or will they keep a straight face. If you want a sneak peek of their photos, you can go online and order the button, which is like, well, here in Australia it's called a badge, but in America I believe you guys call it a button. And you will get that usually around WAT 7. It'll be posted to you, and that will give you a sneak peek. If not, you'll have to wait until graduation day to see their dress blue photos. Now you can order photos yourself, you can order them at graduation, but be prepared that it's going to be very, very busy, or you can have your trainee order them themselves at BMT. My husband just ordered it all himself at BMT, so we just didn't have to worry about it, and then at graduation we just went and picked them up. Also in this week they will be doing a lot of study. Now around this time you may not receive as many letters from your airmen as you may have been in the past. This is very normal. Don't worry about it, don't stress about it. Sit back, allow your trainee to focus and do what he needs to do or she needs to do. They will be studying for their EOCs this week, which is their end of course exam, and they need to spend pretty much all the time that they have spare and available to them studying. It's so important that they pass this test. If they do not pass this, they may be recycled back. So just if you aren't receiving as many letters, just keep in the back of your mind that it's nothing to do with you, nothing to do with them. It's just that they are focused on studying this week. And also don't stress about the acronyms like the EOC and BMT and FDS. all of that stuff. You will, when I first started seeing all these acronyms, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually got online and started looking them up, and I was like, I need to learn all this stuff. But you don't need to learn it. Don't stress about it. You will just learn it as you go. And still now my husband throws things out and I don't know what he's talking about. But I just let him know, I'm like, I don't know what that is. And he'll just tell me, and then maybe I remember, maybe I don't. But I feel like I'm just learning as I go, and that's fine. Don't stress about having to learn all the acronyms. This week is a little bit kind of crappy. Like I said, week 4 and week 5 are kind of weird. Like week 4, you're kind of on that high from the phone call in 3. But week 5 is kind of an odd week, because I think that you start to feel like you've hit that halfway point, you're almost there, but it's just like this, the finish line doesn't seem close enough just yet. But don't worry, What 6 is coming, and in What 6 you get another phone call, and I swear to you, as soon as What 6 hits and another phone call, it's like all up from here. There's no more of that like unsure, uneasy feeling, like you're on the home stretch, and if you focus on that, it's just these next few weeks are gonna go by way quicker than the first few weeks did. So keep that in mind. Also, you can start packing. I started packing, I think I actually started packing, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video. I think I started packing around What 5, yeah, around this time, because I just kind of wanted to be prepared. I was traveling with 2 small children, so I wanted to make sure I had everything that I needed for them. We were doing a season change, so it was winter here and going to be super duper stinking hot summer over there. So I really needed to be prepared and make sure I had everything that I needed for the kids. So I started packing, and that, like, I really highly suggest pack early. For me, it was such a relief to pack, to just kind of get the stuff out, sort it out, lay it all out, put it in the suitcase, maybe change it around a little bit. But I definitely think packing like is really helpful in making the weeks kind of seem like it's getting closer and closer to that final day. So now week 6, you'll get another phone call. For me, again, it was the same. It was the end of the week for me. It was early. It's odd because it was morning time for me, but it was evening for them. I think it was around 7 p.m. for them, but it was like morning time for me. And it was the same thing as the quick 15-minute phone call, but I won't don't talk too much about the phone call because I did in the last video, but the phone calls are amazing. They're great. I think by this week I had some questions I needed to ask my husband. But to be honest, when he got on the phone, it seemed to me like he was just ready to talk. He just wanted to talk to me and tell me everything. So I kind of just sat back and let him talk. Let your trainee lead the way. If they seem like they are decompressing and they don't have a lot to say, then you can fill that space and you can ask questions and you can talk. But if they're sounding like they just want to get everything off their chest, or just talk, or just figure out what's going on at home and not talk about anything to do with then that's okay. Allow them to lead the way in the conversations. I think that's the best thing that you can do, is just allow them to ease themselves into it and just go with the flow. Your job is to kind of sit back, take a back seat, and allow them to kind of direct where things are going. They'll also go to the gas chamber this week, which I think some trainees are kind of really scared about, some are kind of excited about, but it's all a bit of fun. You know, they all get through it, it's all good. And then they also find out their jobs this week. So if your significant other, whoever it is at BMT, went in not 100% certain of their job or on an open contract, they should be getting their jobs by this week if they haven't already. So you might find you'll probably get a letter stating what job they have, and then that's really exciting. It also gives you something else to do. You can start to research what job they have, what bases you can go to. So yeah, that gets exciting as well. And then the other thing in this week, which, I don't even want to bring it up, but it needs to be talked about, it's the pay. So we had a terrible, terrible experience with military pay. And I don't want to just call out the Air Force on this, because I believe it is across all branches and it happens really frequently. So typically when you join, your recruiter probably will not tell you, so be prepared, be aware that you probably will not see a paycheck for at least 5 to 6 weeks. Now, I don't know if we knew, I don't remember knowing this going into it. I'm not sure if my husband kind of did. I want to say that we were lucky in a sense because we did have a savings account to fall back on, but a lot of people probably do not. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for almost 2 months of no pay. If there is not another paycheck coming in, if you relied on your partner's paycheck prior to them joining, be prepared to have some money set aside to be able to cover your costs while they are in there. But also be prepared for that not to happen too. Be prepared for them not to get paid within 6 weeks, because unfortunately it happens so frequently. We went We went over 3 months with no pay. It's disgusting that they think that it is acceptable to not pay people for so long. I cannot believe, if this was in any other position, any other job, there would be a lawsuit. If you don't pay your employee for over 3 months, that is not acceptable. It is not okay. I'm not gonna go into it, but just be prepared for the pay not to be sorted out. And if for whatever reason you end up in a situation like us where it was seriously nothing that my husband had done wrong, none of the paperwork was filled out incorrectly, none of the account information was wrong. There is obviously a high volume of military personnel that join at any given week. I get that, but I mean, come on, United States government. There is something that you need to do to ensure that your military personnel are being paid in a timely manner, because over 3 months with no pay is disgusting. But anyway, if that does happen to you, do not be afraid to go up the chain of command. Make sure that you speak up, that you go talk to somebody, that you try to get it sorted out, because it's not okay. And it should be sorted out. And if you sit back and don't say anything, chances are it'll just not get dealt with. So make sure that you do what you need to do to get your pay sorted out. Your husband is entitled to be paid, or your wife, or whoever it is entitled to be paid, and they should be getting paid. I have to say, once my husband did start to go up the chain of command, it was sorted out fairly promptly, and they apologized to him. I believe his commander, I'm not exactly sure who it was that he went to, but they themselves were shocked that the finance department that we had gone, 3 months with no pay, two small children, 2 dependent children, a spouse at home, no pay. It's ridiculous. It did get sorted out, but it took its fair time, and that was probably the biggest strain on us. Thankfully, for us, we did have a savings account we fell back on, and we were okay, but I can imagine that there are a lot of other families that join that do not have what we had to be able to fall back on, and therefore I honestly have no idea what they do or how they get through it. I don't know what situation that would place people in. But yeah, so that's the pay situation. So be prepared. Typically you will not get paid for 5 to 6 weeks. And unfortunately it can be longer, and don't be afraid to go and speak to somebody if it isn't getting sorted out. Other thing with the pay is you'll get paid a separation pay, a separation allowance. That doesn't kick in until 30 days after, so it's really only from 30 days on, you'll start to get paid that. So for the first 30 days of BMT, there's no separation pay, and then after that, you'll start to get paid it. There's also an app, I think it's the military app. I'll leave it linked down below. I think it's called Military Pay. That app is really handy. You can put all your husband's or your partner's details into it. Whoever it is, you can put their details into it, their rank, your zip code, and it'll calculate an estimation of what your pay should be, so that way you can kind of have an idea and kind of start to budget and see how things are going to be. Okay, so let's move on from pay because, okay, moving into what 7. So what 7 is Beast Week. My husband was super excited for Beast Week. I think that once again, it depends on them. Some are weary of it, are cautious, others are excited and pumped and ready to go. My husband was pretty excited for this experience, and they're gone for the whole week, so they can't write while they're at Beast Week, so be prepared for that. You won't receive any letters. You can write to your significant other, whoever it is, while they are at Beast Week. We weren't sure, my husband wasn't sure in his letters. He even had said, like, stop writing to me around, I think it was like a Tuesday, he told me to stop writing because he didn't think that he would continue to get the letters. But he said that they did get letters throughout Beast. I did continue to write him. I think I wrote him like 2 or 3 more times after that, because I figured if not, I was told in the Facebook group that they just pass the letters along anyway, so they will get them eventually. But yeah, you can still continue to write to them through Beast Week, but you won't receive anything back. Then also in this week is a Base Liberty phone call. So you may get a phone call depending on how the flight performs at Beast Week. If you don't get a phone call, it doesn't mean that they did bad at Beast Week. It just means that that's just not what they chose to do with their Base Liberty time. I believe as well, if you have had time taken off you, so I think I mentioned in the last video that sometimes they can be punished, I guess, and they can have privileges taken away from them. Some of those privileges may be time over graduation weekend. They may lose a few hours over graduation weekend. They may lose a whole day off graduation weekend where they have to stay on base. they can earn that time back, and if they do really well at Beast Week as a flight, they can take that base Liberty time and put it onto the time that they lost from graduation weekend. And then that'll give them that time back. So you may get a phone call, you may not in this week. It really just depends how the whole flight agrees to do it. Okay, and then we're into week 8, graduation week. So I hope this video isn't too long, because I don't know if I should put graduation week in a whole nother video. I don't know, we'll see how we're going. I might split this into 2, but we'll see how we're going. Hey guys, I just thought I would quickly jump on real quick. I am editing this video at the moment, and as you saw in that final clip while I was filming it, I was kind of wondering if it was going to get too long once I included graduation week all in the same video. So while I've been sitting here editing it, I decided that I do think it's probably just going to drag on and be too long. I don't know how long is too long, but I don't want it to be too much. So I have decided to stop this video here and then include the graduation week in its own video. So I just thought I would jump on really quickly and let you guys know that. So stay tuned for the graduation week video. It will probably be uploaded in a couple of days after this one, but I just wanted to jump on and let you guys know that. Like usual, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I do hope that it was really helpful to some of you, all of you, any of you. That's why I'm putting out these videos, just to hopefully be helpful and make the process just that little bit easier. But anyway, stay tuned for the graduation week video. If you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell, do all that fun stuff. That way you are notified of when the next video will go up and you won't miss out. And yeah, that's it. I will see you in that video. Have a great day, guys. Make it count. Bye.